Hello, everyone. We are live. This is Tuesday afternoon, and I just wanted to share a few things with you this afternoon. We have a few new members in our belly dance community. Yay, so excited. And so I wanted to just share a little bit of background information for those of you who may be completely new to belly dancing and don't know anything about it. I'm excited to see you in classes. And so I want to give you a little bit of history behind the dance itself. Here in the United States, where I am, there is often a very sexualized view of belly dancing. And so it makes a lot of women shy away from it. But I want to share that culturally, this is an ancient art form from the Middle East, and it was all about women's empowerment. It was all about helping women to be healthy, helping their bodies stay healthy throughout their lifetime and all the transitions their bodies make throughout their lives. It started thousands of years ago in, I believe, what is now Iran, but at the time it was called Persia. So this was an ancient Persian art form. And then as the dance began to spread, it went in a couple of different directions. And one form of the dance traveled its way down to Egypt. And so today you'll often see Egyptian style belly dance, and the movements of the Egyptian style are much smaller and sharper and quicker. And then one branch went to Greece. And so we kind of see some vestiges of belly dance in the typical Greek dancing that you might see at a Greek restaurant or a festival. And then there's Turkish style, and there's several different styles of belly dance that have developed throughout the centuries. There's Jordanian and Lebanese, and they're all have little stylistic differences, but when you look at these different techniques after you've studied belly dance for a while, you'll see the similarities in the foundations of the movements. So that's a little bit of history about where it came from. But I just want to reiterate the fact that this was a dance that was performed by women for women, and the dance itself tells the story of womanhood. It was a way for women to gather together with all of the other women in their villages or their tribes. And the more mature women would teach the younger women the movements, and they'd perform for each other. And it was just a really wonderful way to support community and to support each other as women, as girls were growing into women and women into mothers, and then into the elders and the wise ones of their tribes and villages. And so I think that that's just a really beautiful thing to understand about how belly dance not only supports our bodies, but supports each other as women. The movements were designed to help a woman's body to go through the transitions it needs to make. There's a lot of focus on hip and pelvic movement and on arm and chest opening movements. So there's it's really great for the heart space, the womb space, and really keeping strong in those areas as women. And I want to mention that it's very body positive. So here in the US, we have this very specific body image of what our culture thinks of as beautiful. And that's different in different places of the world. And where belly dance developed, it was accepted that beauty comes in all sizes and shapes, but especially the rounder shapes, the fuller shapes, were viewed as more of an ideal of beauty. And so within the belly dance community, it is just, it's a place that's kind of unique in the dance world, because we often hear stories of other forms of dance where young girls are made to feel very negatively about their bodies, and that they need to fit a very specific stereotype. And that's completely different in belly dance. It's accepting of all ages, all sizes, all shapes, all colors. And so I find it to be very inclusive and very supportive and nurturing and loving. I also want to mention that specifically in my classes, I will encourage you to listen to your own body. We're all starting out at a different place of health and experience. And if you have an injury, or if you have some sort of limitation with how you can move your body, or if you feel a movement that we're doing in class isn't right for you, I always encourage you to first listen to your body. Please never do anything that doesn't feel good, that feels like it might be injuring or reactivating an old injury in you. This is another thing about belly dance, is that it puts you in touch with your own body, even more so than you may already be. It is a way for you to connect with your body on a deeper level. And so it's really important that you then listen to those messages, that intuition that your body is giving you, the messages it's sending you. So please, take ownership of that and do what feels right for you. And if you have a question about how you might be able to do a movement in a way that feels better for you, please, feel free to ask. As far as the class structure goes, belly dance is all about isolating different body groups and getting in touch with those different muscle groups and how to move them in a way that's natural to a woman's body that helps support it. And so we focus on isolation movements, especially in the basic, the beginning classes. We focus on the different muscle groups and isolating each one of those from the top of the body down. And in the intermediate classes, then we go more into a much faster paced progression through those isolation movements, and then into combinations and steps and how to put these together. And one of the best things about learning belly dance is all of these isolation exercises are the foundations of the movements that we use in the dance. So not only are you warming up and toning these individual muscle groups, but you're learning the steps while you're doing it. So we might only go through a few isolation movements in the first beginning belly dance class, but each of those isolation movements are also a movement of the dance. And so you can put together an entire belly dance choreography from just a few of these isolation movements. And so it's really helpful to just really, really work on those foundational movements so that you have the technique, the correct technique, and then you'll be able to very quickly be able to put those together. So the beginning class starts at the very foundation, the very basics. It's very slow and gentle so that you understand the correct way to do these isolation exercises. And the intermediate is for people who may have already done that before and they're familiar with all the basics, and we're doing a much faster pace and doing a little bit of combination and sometimes some choreography. Sometimes we work with veils, sometimes we work with zills. So there are layers that we add on in the intermediate class. And as far as clothing, just make sure that you are wearing something that you feel comfortable in and that you can really move in. It's very helpful to be able to have a mirror in front of you, or have your video on so that you can see yourself, so that you can see if what your body is doing is same thing as what my body's doing, because a lot of times we think we're doing something that our body is actually not doing. And so it's really helpful to see yourself. And I don't ask everybody to put their videos on. If you feel comfortable having your video off, that's fine, but it is helpful for me to see if you are doing the move correctly, but that's up to you. And also make sure that you're well hydrated, and that after class, especially if it's new for you, that you hydrate really well the rest of the evening. Because most likely, even if it didn't feel like it was a really great workout at the time, most likely later on you will feel some muscles that you didn't know you had. So you want to make sure to really hydrate well. And I think that is, I think those are all of the things that I wanted to share with you. And so let me know in the group whether you have any questions. And I really look forward to seeing you at class tonight. I look forward to seeing the new people that we have in our membership, and it's going to be really fun. So feel free to post in our group any questions you might have. And even if it's a question that seems silly to you, go ahead and post. I'm here to answer your questions and to support you in any way that I can. So we will see you soon, and have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll look forward to seeing you this evening. All right.